Pizza Cottage in Mount Vernon on WMBO. Meet the coaches, learn about the players, and hear about plans for the season. Tonight's show is brought to you by Griffin Insurance, Pizza Cottage, Cottage Electric Plumbing and Construction, and Page One. Sit back and enjoy the show. The Griffin Insurance Monday Night Sports Talk Show live from the Pizza Cottage in Mount Vernon.
All right, appreciate the fans in the background there. But we are here at Pizza Cottage on South Main Street in Mount Vernon for the Griffin Insurance Monday Night Sports Talk Show. And you're saying, Tyler, it's Tuesday. It is Tuesday. But we switch it just one Tuesday of the year because of Labor Day, and we appreciate Centerburg and Danville joining us here as we talk about what they're looking forward to as we get ready for week number 3 of high school football, and, of course, talk about the first 2 weeks of the season as well. We got Andy Colella here with us to my right, and then to his right, Chris Marshall and Trevin Harris down at the end there, Centerburg Trojans. They sit at 1-1 on the season here, coming off a loss against Ontario, but finally get back home. As long as nobody drives through the field between now and Friday, and we will see how the Trojans do against Worthington Christian on Friday night. And again, Tyler Mathias here with you for the Griffin Insurance Monday Night Sports Talk Show. Andy, first off, I want to start off talking with you. How long have you been at Centerburg, head coach there at Centerburg? You've been at Centerburg for quite some time now.
Yeah, this is year number 9 as
9
a
years.
head coach, and then I think 17 total.
17 years. So you've been coaching since I was 16 years old, so I was driving a car.
Well, 20 total coaching.
20.
So,
20
yeah,
total.
This is the 20-year mark, yep.
And you can tell as he has no hair. No, but,
that's true. It would if it was there, it would be all white or gray. So.
Well, we appreciate Coach Colella joining us. Centerburg Trojans come in at 1-1 on the season and finally get a chance to come back home. Well, last year, of course, somebody decided that it would be a really fun thing to do to drive through the field, so you guys have the opportunity to get back home in week number 3. But overall, you look at this season, last year was difficult for you guys because you dealt with injuries. And, a school like Centerburg, guy gets hurt, you're losing basically 2 players, or maybe even more because they play on both sides of the ball and everything. As you look back at last year and the trying times there, how has it helped as you led into this season? And now here we are, 1-1 as you get ready for the final non-conference game of the season.
Yeah, a lot of those guys are back.
Yeah.
So you got to rely on the experience, that they had in those situations. And, through difficult situations like that, hopefully you grow and become better because of it. So, and these guys have done that, I think. You can just the way that we have played the first 2 weeks so far. They play really, really hard and have been doing a great job so far. So, you'd like to think that it pays off somewhere down the line, but unfortunately you don't want to have to go through those things, but that's the way that the game works, and sometimes those things happen.
I've talked with coaches for years, and that you almost want to pepper them in there anyway because you don't want them to have deer in the headlights when they have to be in there on Friday nights the following year and stuff like that. Well, you guys didn't really have much of a choice. You had to do it. And now getting the opportunity with guys in the field. We look at this year's team, though. Now we're two games in. What kind of team are we looking at for the Centerburg Trojans? A team that likes to spread it out, a team that likes to hit people on defense. What do we see with the Centerburg Trojan team?
Man, I think if you come watch us play, and, man, these guys play super hard.
Yeah.
You saw that on Friday. And you saw that the week before, even in the scrimmages too. And just their effort and energy it's different, and you can feel that and you can sense it. So as a result, they're setting themselves up, I think, and they've had some success thus far. Even early on in the season.
Yeah. Chris Marshall is with us here. Chris, what year are you in school?
Senior.
Senior year. All right. Yeah, we appreciate you joining us here. As you look back at last year and things and getting opportunities and stuff, what did you maybe learn from last year's team that maybe you take into this year?
Last year was a bit of a struggle. We had a couple injuries, but I would say with the injuries, it allowed some of the younger players to get in and grow and learn how each other play together as a team. And so I would just say we have a lot of togetherness and we know how each other play.
Yeah, of course, you go throughout an off season. You kind of learn things with your team and things like that. I remember I played basketball in school and went to Findlay during the summer, and it was kind of a neat bonding experience there and things. But in terms of some of the things you worked on during the summer, what did you want to improve upon going into this year?
I guess just my physicalness and I guess my speed and really my catching.
All right. We're going to talk some more here with Chris and Trevin Harris down there at the end. I know you got a pick 6 already this year.
Yeah.
All right, and we look back, and I know we covered you during basketball season as well and things. What year are you in school?
I'm also a senior.
All right, final year, final opportunity here. What were some of the things maybe you worked on in the off season as you prepared for your senior year of football?
I knew I was going to have a bigger role on defense this year, so I'm trying to adjust myself at the safety position because I'm new to it. So I worked on that a lot. Just a lot of times, just working on my backpedaling, working on breaking on routes. So I'm mainly focused on the defensive side of the ball this year for the summer, but overall, I'm just working on my game.
What do you play on offense?
I play outside receiver.
All right, very cool. So, Andy, when you look at having these guys back and kind of having some of that experience we talked about, were the expectations going this year a little bit higher where you said, okay, now you got the experience. Now it's time to prove it on the field. And when you look at it, I know Isaiah was playing some quarterback and things like that. Now this year, Blaine Ball, I think, is your starting quarterback and things. So tell us kind of the makeup of this year's team, obviously, with Trevin and with Chris and some of the other guys.
Yeah, there's you guys like Trevin and Chris back, and Isaiah, he filled in at running back for us last year. So we have him there, and then Chris's younger brother Miles. Those guys kind of rotate over there, and you got a couple tight ends in the mix. So there's some nice pieces there, some skill guys, and as Blaine gets more comfortable, throughout the weeks, he played really well towards the end of the game, I think, on Friday. So you can kind of see some growth there, and hope that pans out, and then. And they got to rely on these guys that have been through it before, and like Chris and Trevin have had success in other places. So it's important for them to bring that kind of attitude and kind of what that's like, and teach the other guys that we have how to do those things, and so hopefully it pays off there.
You guys running out of a shotgun a lot, or what are you doing here?
Yep, shotgun,
Yep.
Same kind of deal. Yeah, on offense. So.
There aren't a lot of people get under center anymore, Andy.
Not a whole lot.
It doesn't happen. Do you get under center at all? Hand it off to Chris? Or
maybe for a quarterback sneak or something. That's about it.
Doesn't happen very often. Anywhere you go, it doesn't happen very often. What do we like to do defensively besides hit people?
I think we've been doing a pretty good job at that. We're a 4-man front. We do some different things coverage-wise, bring some pressure here and there, and, just traditional defense that we played over the last several years.
Yep. Let's look at it as we look at the season. Obviously, you've only played 2 games up to this point, but we'll go back to that Utica game in which you guys were able to get a win. And, last year you got a win to start the year against Utica, and Utica went on to win 7 games. So that was a pretty good win for you guys last year. And then the injuries hit, and it makes it a little difficult. But this year, to get that win out of the gate, how important was that for you guys, and what went right in that Utica game to start the season out with a victory?
Yeah, it's really important. We knew that they were coming in with confidence from, how their season ended last year. That was one of their better seasons in quite some time. So, they were feeling pretty confident, and we kind of had an idea of kind of what we have going on, but you're still a little uncertain because that environment's a little bit different than your scrimmages. But the kids came out and played really, really hard on both sides of the ball, and kind of proved, to us that we know what we have now. So.
Chris, you look back at that game against the Utica Redskins. You open up the season. Emotions are pretty high when you open up the year. What stood out for that Utica game? Some of the things that maybe Coach said, hey, that was great. Of course, there are things you could work on as well after a Week 1 victory.
I would just say our defense, being able to stop them and hold them. And like they say, defense is the best offense. So the defense definitely got us started, and holding them to only, 6 points was, I would say, pretty good and got us fired up.
21-6 was the final in that game, right?
Yep.
So you look back at that game, Trevin Harris had a pick 6, right?
Yes, I did.
All right. Well, obviously, in high school you can't look up at the screen and see if somebody's chasing you.
He's got a couple this year.
He's got a couple.
Yeah. You had one on Friday. You had one this Friday.
Yeah, I got to pick on Friday.
And pick on Friday. Yeah. So you're going for 1 a week.
Yeah, that's my goal.
Oh, okay. Well, you're 20% there. You look at that game against Utica. What stands out against a team like the Utica Redskins and some of the things that maybe you even wanted to work on from that?
The thing that stood out was obviously our defense. When you can hold a team to 6 points, you're going to win a lot of football games. So continuing to grow our defense and adjusting to a new team each week will be important. But we also know that we need to pick it up on the offense. That's lacking a bit. So going back and watching film from Utica and Ontario, we know what we need to fix. So.
Chris, what were maybe some of the goals you had coming into this year personally and for the team as you look at what you guys wanted to do this season for the Centerburg Trojans?
I would say one of my goals personally would be maybe just score a touchdown. Give our first career touchdown.
He's been waiting a while. He's been starting for 2 years. He's been waiting
Oh, my God. Yeah, there we go. Coach has got to give it to you now. I mean, your scoring is worth the credit.
He can get a pick six like Trevor did.
Yeah, get a pick six. What do you play on defense? What, cornerback?
Safety.
Yeah, you got like 2 safeties.
Yeah.
Okay.
Him and Trevin.
They're both, him
and Trevin are safeties, yeah.
Well, I didn't know, and Jim Stoyle would know this. We did a football game one time, and I remember doing the game with him. I went back and said, I think I might need to study some film myself. And this was probably 10 years ago. And we'll figure out about this. But I do know about 2 safeties.
Yeah.
I just didn't know that you guys were doing that.
Yeah, we play. Yeah. It's those 2 guys right there.
There we go.
Yeah.
Easy as that. Appreciate you guys joining us here on the program. And maybe Chris will get his first touchdown this week. And if he does, we'll sign a football for him.
It's because of the show.
It's because if he does it, it's because of the show. And we'll get him right back down here. Yeah, let's go, Chris. And Curtis says he's going to drive through the field right before so that he won't be able to even play on Friday. No, I'm kidding. Although I did come out to the field one time, thought I'll just take a leisurely walk out to the field on a Saturday morning. I just sat on the bleachers, didn't realize there were sprinklers. And so I started running about as fast as Trevin did on that pick six to get out of there. As you look at it, Trevor, what do you want from this season for yourself, for your team?
For the team, we talk about it a lot, and that's about leaving a legacy here. We always talk about great teams that went through Centerburg, so we try to emphasize that into this season, and that's what we want to be. We want to leave a legacy here at Centerburg, and we want to be remembered by future teams and stuff like that.
There have been some really good teams that have come through Centerburg. I mean, you think about the 2005 team was really good, and recently there's been some good teams that have gone through here, and you guys can be that kind of a team right now. Sitting at 1-1, we're going to talk about last week's game, of course, about this week's upcoming game, your final non-conference game before you get underway with the conference play next week. Of course, we do want to thank Pizza Cottage and their hospitality here. You can stop by Pizza Cottage. Have you ever had the BLT pizza here? It's fantastic. So you guys got to try that sometime. But we appreciate Pizza Cottage on South Main Street in Mount Vernon. Also want to thank Griffin Insurance, our title sponsor. Page One Group has the mugs here, as well as Cottage Electric Plumbing and Construction. We thank them for bringing you the show here on Tuesday. We'll be back on Monday next week, but Tuesday for the show here this week. Take this break. We'll come back and more of the Centerburg Trojans on the Griffin Insurance Monday Night Sports Talk Show on WMBO next.
This is ONN.
Good afternoon. I'm Paul Keels. On the ball diamond, the Cleveland Guardians continue their series in Kansas City with the Royals tonight. Tanner Bybee pitching for the Guardians, who've won 2 in a row. Brady Singer on the mound for the Royals. Cleveland goes into play with a 3.5-game lead over Minnesota, 4.5 ahead of Kansas City. It's an unusual off day in the middle of the series for Cincinnati Reds, who beat Houston last night. They'll host the Astros again tomorrow night. From college football, the coaches poll today with Georgia and Ohio State still as the number 1 and 2 teams, followed by Texas, Alabama, and Ole Miss. Oregon fell 3 spots to number 6. Florida State, who was number 10, has fallen all the way out of the poll. After beginning the year with 2 losses, LSU dropped 7 spots to number 12. After their loss to USC. Ohio State back on the practice field today. Head coach Ryan Day talking about his team's win over Oregon and what they need to do in week 2.
The effort, across the board was solid. We got a long way to go here, and we want to keep pushing. And there certainly were some great clips. I think you guys saw some of that on Saturday, but we're nowhere where we need to be. We got to keep building. It's a long season, and so we'll get back to work today.
Buckeyes host Western Michigan this coming Saturday, and Coach Day saying that offensive lineman Donovan Jackson and linebacker Cody Simon, who missed the Akron game, are day-to-day. From the NFL, San Francisco 49ers and 3-time Pro Bowl offensive tackle Trent Williams finalizing terms of a deal will have him ending his holdout. It's hoped that this would get Williams ready for the 49ers season-opening game on Monday night against the New York Jets. This is the Ohio News Network.
Your sinks are backed up, the electric in your master bedroom needs rewired, and now the wife is asking for a new addition. It's time to get in touch with Cottage Electric, Plumbing, and Now Construction. Give Brian and his team a call at 740-627-8004. They can fix your electrical and plumbing needs and give your bathroom and kitchen a remodel.
Cottage Electric, Plumbing, and Construction is a proud sponsor for all the local high school teams.
Enjoy the season. Cottage Electric, Plumbing, and Construction. 740-627-8004.
Veterans serving veterans.
That's what we do here at Knox County Veteran Services. Hi, I'm Kevin Henthorne, your Executive Director.
And I'm Financial Coordinator Melissa Shank.
And we're here to meet the needs of Knox County veterans and their families.
We can help with emergency financial assistance,
filing of disability and pension claims, VA healthcare enrollment, and even transportation to VA healthcare facilities.
Please give us a call at 740-393-6742 or stop in and see us at our new location at 105 East Chestnut Street in Mount Vernon.
Pizza Cottage in Mount Vernon is one of 11 pizza cottages in Ohio. They are among the nation's best performing pizzerias and ranked in Pizza Today. The finest ingredients is used daily. Treat your customers and employees like family and always give back to the community, offering not only takeout but also dine-in and full bar. Book your group parties today. Find Pizza Cottage on Facebook or go to pizza-cottage.com to begin your journey of tastes.
Griffin Insurance, taking care of your family since 1972. In today's day and age, it's very uncommon to get a real person when you call. Not at Griffin Insurance. We represent multiple carriers to find the best rate for you and your family. Whether it's auto, residential, commercial, or farm, we're here to help. Call Griffin Insurance at 740-397-7488. Griffin Insurance, finding you the best rate.
Page One Group in beautiful Mount Vernon has your best interest in mind when it comes to you and your printing needs. Whether it's printing, design, laser engraving, or sublimation, there isn't a texture we can't print on. Promotional products are how you keep people coming back. That's where we come in. Your business is our business. Page One Group, open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. Call 740-397-4240 and visit pageonegroup.net.
All right, we are back at Pizza Cottage here on South Main Street in Mount Vernon, and we do want to thank Cottage Electric Plumbing and Construction. Page One Group with the mugs. Trevin, you want to model that mug so that people see it? He's kind of hesitant. There we go. That's the Vanna White. He can't believe he did that. By the way, Trevin, that is on video and will never be deleted.
It's all right.
Pizza Cottage, and of course, we want to thank Griffin Insurance, our title sponsor. Well, the Centerburg Trojans are entering week number 3, and they finally get to go back home for the first time this year. How excited are you to play in front of your home fans, Andy, as you get an opportunity this Friday night at Centerburg? You know, I saw something today where they said, by the way, you can't come put your seats out until 3:15, so you can't walk in there at 10 o'clock in the morning. But how excited are you to play in front of these fans? Fans in Centerburg are just fantastic.
Yeah, we're super excited to be back home. It's been a while since we've been there. We got some upgrades to the facility, so kind of excited about that as well. But most importantly, these guys get to play in front of their home fans and get back to the community who supports these guys to no end. So it's we're really looking forward to it.
Well, you don't have a new press box, but you do have some cool things with the field and everything. And Chris, how excited are you to get in front of these home fans at Centerburg and have some fun in front of the home fans on Friday night?
I'm super excited. I know the Red Army's going to go crazy.
Yeah.
And I know people like to set up a little bit early, so I know it's going to be packed.
You know, we came there early one time. Matter of fact, we came early a day before, and we set up, and we got there that night, and our stuff was gone.
You took somebody's seats.
Yeah, apparently. So they got rid of our stuff, and I don't know where it ended up, but we found it eventually. But we did not get the spot that we were hoping for. But anyway, Trevor, how excited are you to play in front of the home fans at Centerburg this week?
I'm really excited too. It's something you wait to until you're a kid. You watch your brothers and stuff playing football Friday nights. So now that it's our chance to do it, and it's gonna be a good one.
And he wants a pick 6 to keep his streak alive. Well, Coach, let's look back at last week. Ontario Warriors. I don't know who put that schedule together. I don't know if it was Rich. But Rich, thanks for coming right back after putting Ontario on the schedule. Quarterback for Ontario, obviously going to Ohio State. But I'll tell you what, I look at the box score. I wasn't there, obviously. I was Friday night on the Sports Roundtable. But it sounds like your guys battled hard in that ball game. That's a tough team in Ontario. Tough ball game. Lose 35-21. How proud are you of your guys? Your thoughts on that ball game Friday night?
That was the first thing I told them. I was super proud of them and how they played. Clearly, you want to win, and that stings a little bit. But once you get past that, I mean, the guys battled their tails off. You know, we had them, 7-7 at halftime. We were up 7-0. It was 14-7, I think, going into the fourth quarter. And then really they battled all the way through to the end. We kind of traded punches there at the end of the ball game. I think there was like 35 points maybe scored in the fourth quarter, something like that. But I think that really proved what kind of team that we have. When you can go against somebody like that and compete really, really well, you know, I think that's a confidence booster to everybody that's involved. And that's kind of what we talked to them after the game about how you handle that and how you respond to that. And, yeah, we all want to win and those kind of things, but you got to take the silver lining out of it and move forward and try to get better because of it.
When you play a team like that and an athlete like that who's going to Ohio State to play wide receiver, it takes a whole team effort to be in the ball game and to play like you guys did on Friday night, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's a challenge. Everybody knows it. We really didn't talk about that a whole lot throughout the week because, I mean, you don't have to. These guys know. You don't want to beat a dead horse there. Yeah. And we spent our time and energy focusing on what we needed to do to give ourselves the best chance to win.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what we spent our time doing and talking about throughout the week. And, you know, I think, you know, it helped significantly. The guys were tuned into what was going on. They bought in, and, you know, they gave it everything they had.
What stood out, besides obviously the fact that your guys were right in the ball game there, what stood out from that game? Some of the positives and some of the things you left and you said, all right, we got to work on these things as we get to our last non-conference game of the regular season.
Yeah, when you start getting into, I think, some of the things that you were talking about with the caliber of players that they have and those kinds of things, you can, I think from a mental standpoint, you could easily psych yourself out. Our guys didn't do that. They wanted the challenge and they accepted it. You know, so for us as coaches and as a team, you know, these guys aren't going to back down to anything. You know, so it gives you, you know, pretty good feeling going into week in and week out about, you know, kind of the character that the kids have, and, you know, they're willing to throw it all out there on the line and see what happens.
And Chris, as you look at that ball game, as Coach mentioned, you guys weren't afraid going into that game, and you played really well. What stood out to you in that ball game? Some of the things you said, hey, we did well here, or some of the things that you want to work on as you go into this week number 3?
I think we accepted the underdog role, and on defense, I think we were just getting after it. Like, I don't think they could handle our physicalness, and I think we played a great defensive game. I think we could get a little bit more started on offense, but I think we learned from the loss, and we won't let it happen again.
You had some big carries in that ball game that helped get you in position to score, and certainly you guys battled with the Ontario Warriors. As you look at it, Trevin, what stood out to you in that ball game? I see that you had some nice plays in that ball game as well, and a pick six, or not a pick six, but an interception.
Yeah, I got a pick.
But as you look at it, what stood out to you in that game? Some of the things you want to work on, and some of the things you say, hey, we did well. We just got to continue to grind forward.
Yeah, no, kind of like Coach said. We fought up until that fourth quarter. I feel like. And I'm not sure if it was conditioning or if we just let ourselves go. So we got to figure that part out. When you have a team like that, you're battling to the fourth quarter like that, something has to happen. We have to make a play. We didn't do that. So we just have to work on that and stay in it the whole game.
Early in the season, conditioning is always a big thing. And Coach, one of the things that they ask about or they mention is sometimes the biggest improvement or lack thereof is from week 1 to week number 2. You feel like your guys made those improvements. Obviously, you fought a really good Ontario team. A lot of people say it's the best team in Richland County. As you look at it, you feel like your team kind of made that leap in week number 2 from week number 1?
We'll find out here pretty soon, right? Yeah. But, yeah, you'd like to think so. They've answered a lot of questions there that maybe we had and maybe that they had about themselves. And your pre-season or pre-conference games, whatever you want to call them, the 3 out-of-conference games there, you kind of set those up sometimes to figure out what you got, and hopefully that sets up for something later on down the road. And, so sometimes that's why you have some of that stuff in there and, hopefully it works out for you in the end.
As you look at this upcoming Friday night with Worthington Christian, obviously they play Danville, so there's one game that you kind of can look at, maybe look at how they play and things like that. What stands out with this Worthington Christian team for you?
They got some good skill players.
Yeah.
They always do. They're always a tough battle. They're a good football team, and so we got our hands full again this week. We have the last 2 weeks, so we're kind of used to that now. But on both sides of the ball, they got some really good skill kids, and they can turn the game around pretty quick.
Yeah. Chris, what's kind of been the message going into this week? Here we are on Tuesday, and 3 days until game time now. What's kind of been the message as you enter that last non-conference game of the season and your first home game?
I guess just whoever wants it more, like whoever's willing to get after it. And I think that if we get after Worthington Christian, I don't think they'll be able to handle us, especially at home.
All right, I like it. Trevin, what stands out to you going into this week? And some of the talk is you're 3 days away from game day.
What stands out to me, usually after a loss, in previous years, we've struggled after a loss, getting back into a groove. And I don't think that's going to be the problem this year. I think, we're going to be, even more upset, heading into Friday's game. We're going to have a chip on our shoulder. So, I'm pretty stoked to get out there on Friday, and can't wait to see what happens.
Coach, the Knoxville Athletic Conference is again another tough conference. I mean, every year it seems like there's just teams. Danville's sitting right over there. They don't rebuild, they reload, and Northmore's got talent. You guys are always there. And Fredericktown's skill. What stands out to you in the conference this year?
Yeah, I think just what you said there. There's a group of teams that are at the top that I think can all compete, for the league title. So it should be a fun conference here, I think. Yeah.
Chris, are you looking forward to any game this year, or just the next one?
The one he scores a touchdown.
Yeah, the one he scores a touchdown. I'm telling you what, we'll just get you down here as soon as you score a touchdown. But what are you looking forward to in terms of maybe a game this year?
I'm definitely looking forward to Northmore,
Yeah.
just getting after them, especially after what happened last year. I think we could have a big upset.
What happened last year? Okay, we're going to move on. Andy says move on. We'll move on. Trevin, what are you looking forward to in terms of the conference this year for the Centerburg Trojans?
I take every game with the same mentality, each week. But, if I had to point out a game, it'd probably be senior night against Fredericktown. One last game. Maybe not on the home field. Depends,
yeah, I like it.
It depends how our season goes. But, just senior night. Last time, with my seniors, Fredericktown, a rival game. So that's always a fun game.
All right, again, the Centerburg Trojans, we appreciate them spending time with us here. Chris, are you hoping to play at the next level? You're looking at, an opportunity maybe after high school to play?
I'm looking to wrestle at the next level.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. I know you're a good wrestler. Is that
State runner-up.
State runner-up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why you asked me about, maybe we'll get you on here in the winter, too. Yeah, come out here and talk with us, too. State runner-up. So is that the only other one you play? Or I guess play, but where you wrestle? All right. Which one you like more? With your coach sitting right to your left.
Hey, he can say let's wrestle. That's fine.
Yeah, I'd probably say wrestling.
I like it.
He's honest.
Yeah, there you go. Trevin, I know you play some basketball too. Play a little bit of hoops. You play baseball too, or you run track or anything?
I run track.
And what you run track?
I do the 400 high jump. I was in the 4x1.
Okay. So you don't do the hurdles, right?
Nah.
Stay away from those.
Yeah.
I tried that at one point. It did not go well. And then I got into broadcasting. So that's pretty much you coach some track, right?
Worked out, yeah.
Yeah.
For a few years.
Yeah, you wouldn't have wanted me on your team. It wouldn't have been pretty. You hoping to play something at the next level?
It's a decision, but we'll see what happens.
All right, we'll see what happens. Let's just focus on this football season here. The Centerburg Trojans this week will be at home against Worthington Christian. And remember that the field is at the old high school. So if you're going to the football game, don't go to the new school, which we say the new school, which is also like 20 years old now. But maybe even older than that. But go to the old high school area, and you'll see the field there. So, but Centerburg Trojans, best of luck to you guys this season. We'll get you back down here and talk some more with the Centerburg Trojans. But thank you so much for joining us, and we look forward to this upcoming Friday, the Centerburg Trojans taking on Worthington Christian. Get out to the heart of Ohio and check out what the Trojans are doing. Of course, we want to thank Pizza Cottage for having us out here tonight, and also our title sponsor, Griffin Insurance. Page One Group with the mugs, which Trevin Harris did a tremendous job of modeling earlier. And also want to thank Cottage Electric Plumbing and Construction. We're going to be talking with the Danville Blue Devils here on the program next, but we'll take this break and more of the Griffin Insurance Monday Night Sports Talk Show on a Tuesday coming up here on WMVO.
Your sinks are backed up, the electric in your master bedroom needs rewired, and now the wife is asking for a new addition. It's time to get in touch with Cottage Electric, Plumbing, and now Construction. Give Brian and his team a call at 740-627-8004. They can fix your electrical and plumbing needs and give your bathroom and kitchen a remodel.
Cottage Electric Plumbing and Construction is a proud sponsor for all the local high school teams.
Enjoy the season. Cottage Electric, Plumbing, and Construction. 740-627-8004.
Griffin Insurance, taking care of your family since 1972. In today's day and age, it's very uncommon to get a real person when you call. Not at Griffin Insurance. We represent multiple carriers to find the best rate for you and your family. Whether it's auto, residential, commercial, or farm, we're here to help. Call Griffin Insurance at 740-397-7488. Griffin Insurance, finding you the best rate.
Page One Group in beautiful Mount Vernon has your best interest in mind when it comes to you and your printing needs. Whether it's printing, design, laser engraving, or sublimation, there isn't a texture we can't print on. Promotional products are how you keep people coming back. That's where we come in. Your business is our business. Page One Group, open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. Call 740-397-4240 and visit pageonegroup.net.
Pizza Cottage in Mount Vernon is one of 11 pizza cottages in Ohio. They are among the nation's best performing pizzerias and ranked in Pizza Today. The finest ingredients is used daily. Treat your customers and employees like family and always give back to the community. Offering not only takeout but also dine-in and full bar. Book your group parties today. Find Pizza Cottage on Facebook or go to pizza-cottage.com to begin your journey of tastes.
Veterans serving veterans.
That's what we do here at Knox County Veterans Services. Hi, I'm Kevin Henthorne, your Executive Director.
And I'm Financial Coordinator Melissa Schenk.
And we're here to meet the needs of Knox County veterans and their families.
We can help with emergency financial assistance,
filing of disability and pension claims, VA healthcare enrollment, and even transportation to VA healthcare facilities.
Please give us a call at 740-393-6742 or stop in and see us at our new location at 105 East Chestnut Street in Mount Vernon.
Here's your forecast on 100.9 FM and 93.7 HD2.
Tonight, a low of just 48 degrees overnight with a clear sky, high of 84 with a mainly sunny sky as the Fredericktown Tomato Show kicks off on Wednesday. Low of 51 Wednesday night with clear skies, high of 86 with sunshine on Thursday. That's your forecast on 100.9 FM and streaming live online, WMBO.com. All right, well, I did tell Curtis the countdown there, so now we're back, and we appreciate you joining us here. Thanks again to the Centerburg Trojans for joining us here. We're at Pizza Cottage in Mount Vernon, a nice crowd out here tonight, and we're talking with the Danville Blue Devils. And, you know, early in the season we talked with Matt Bloom, and we appreciate him being with us, Caleb Lucas, and Aiden Burke. Now, I remember names. I will not forget your names. And I don't forget the redheads because my son's a redhead. So I do not forget. Appreciate you guys joining us here. But, you know, we were talking earlier in the season, or I guess earlier in the season, you don't play 2 games. But as we talked, said, we at Danville do not rebuild. And you lost some talented pieces last year, but you also brought some talented pieces back here, Matt. You do not rebuild, you reload here at Danville. As you look at going into this season, what are the expectations, you guys? I would say I've heard from people that you guys are the favorite in the Knoxville Athletic Conference, but I know you don't listen to that noise, Matt. You don't listen to that noise, but what are the expectations for this Danville? Successful year last year.
Yeah, obviously you want to take it 1 week at a time, right? You got to focus on the opponent at hand, but, you know, our whole mantra this offseason has been sustain the standard, and what that means for us is obviously continue to beat our rivals. Who you play in the county, that's first and foremost. Our most importance is, beating East Knox, especially East Knox, and then competing for a conference title, and we just leave it like that. We want to be in that competition there in week 8, week 9, and week 10 to, compete for something like that. And then lastly, get to the playoffs and win a playoff game. And then anything else after that, we're going to keep pushing and hopefully achieve more. But that's where we start. So obviously looking forward to being able to do that again this year and hopefully keep pushing.
All right, well, the Danville Blue Devils, you guys lost some key pieces, but like I say, you brought a lot back. And as we talked about before, last year you guys had so much success. You ended up losing to Dalton in the playoffs. And I will say that I think that had you won that game, you probably would have played in a state championship game. I'm throwing that out there. That's my own personal opinion. I will throw that out there. But you look at the talent that you had last year, and they're now gone, but you have quite a bit of talent to bounce back this year. How important was it getting those kids under the Friday night lights and now in some pretty prominent roles on this year's team?
Well, I mean, in my opinion, I think it all started in January with our kids. I can't speak to the level of dedication that our senior class has had this entire offseason. We have a smaller senior class this year, 9 kids, but every single one of them were at all of our workouts from January on to now, and it's really proved something. So they're a great group of kids. I've coached them all the way up through my 3rd year as being a head coach. I've coached them as a head coach since their sophomore year, and they're just a phenomenal group. So, and all of them have stepped into the roles that we've asked them to step into, and 5 captains, and we have 5 seniors as captains. So that shows you how good of leaders they are and how great young men they are, and just very, very fortunate to be able to coach them this year.
Caleb, is this your senior year?
Yes, it is.
Seems like we've been doing this for a long time with you.
Quite some time, yeah.
He's got to be a senior. A 9th-year senior? No, I'm kidding. We appreciate Caleb being out here and with the Dell. I heard that last year after you guys ended up losing to Dalton that it was like turn around immediately. You guys were back in the gym. And you were back to work because, hey, you guys were ready to get back out here and have another successful season. Is that how it was pretty much in the off season?
I would say, yeah, definitely. We did quite a lot, even outside of just normal workouts with the team and everything. I mean, we had a group of guys who would just kind of go every day, have the same mentality, just get after it, do the same thing, get stronger, get better, because we knew we could be a lot better than we were.
I wouldn't want to arm wrestle either one of these guys. I'd like to see Curtis do it, and Gary could do it. Gary with 2 R's arm wrestle you guys. That would be entertaining. Okay, some video views on that. As you look at it, though, you had so much success last year, and you were part of that success last year. What motivates you going into this year and some of the goals that you have for this season?
So this year our slogan's kind of like sustain the standard, and just kind of doing what we've been doing, just winning games during the season. Obviously chasing a conference title is something that we always want to do, and just kind of continuing with that and chasing after a playoff game or 2 and then getting as far as we can.
All right. A couple home playoff games for Danville. Last year you guys almost didn't get a play at home. The people had to come together and get that field working after that East Knox game. You guys were able to get there. So it took a lot of dedication, but you guys were able to play a home playoff game there. Aiden, as you look at what year are you? Are you senior?
I'm senior.
You're senior as well. Now, I know last year was a little different for you. I mean, you got carries, you got a number of carries and things like that.
Yeah.
Cole DeLauder was there, but you certainly were a powerhouse. I'm looking at some of the stats here. You had 20 carries for 160 yards, and I'm not great at math here, but I believe that's 8 yards a carry, if I do the math right. And but as you look at it this year, what were some of the expectations for you? Maybe stepping in. I mean, obviously stepping into a role where you're the lead back here for this Danville team.
Yeah, the bar's set pretty high, and I mean to follow along with our standard, we're sustaining it. And I've had a lot of great backs, kind of like teach me how to do my own thing, run the ball hard. And yeah.
All right. Now I know you got those big boys up front that do some work for the Danville Blue Devils, and that helps you to run it as well. How much do you work with them maybe in the off season to have that cohesiveness that we gotta work together, because without them big boys up front, it's tough to run the football.
Yeah. Well, I work out with a lot of them. A lot of them are like lifting with me and stuff. I think it just comes down to chemistry.
Yeah.
Really. I mean, I've ran the ball behind some of them for like a couple years now, back in like junior high days.
Yeah.
And it's all just chemistry. We got it down, and it's going to keep building too, all the chemistry.
Yeah, big boys up front, they're important. And we sometimes neglect them. We don't think about them as much, but they're important to what you do in ground and pound the game. How important is it, those guys up front? And you talk about some of the returning guys, obviously, Aiden. You talk about Caleb and some of the other guys that have returned that have some experience that really could help you this year as well.
Yeah, obviously I coach offensive line, so they're always important to me. But I think that was probably one of the strengths of our offense this year is we bring back Caleb, who starts at tight end for us, bring back Josh Byers, who starts at tight end for us, bring back Blake Colopy and Greg Wilson, who both start on the offensive line for us. And obviously Aiden got some reps last year at both running back and tight end. So there's some guys there that, they understand our expectation, and, we want to come into a game and be able to run the ball successfully. And, those are some of the goals we have going in the game that, we should be able to run for 200 yards and average over 4 yards a carry. Those are offensive goals that we have no matter who the opponent is. So obviously we hold that to a very high standard, and that's what we want to be able to do week in and week out.
When I first started covering Danville, you ran this wonderful thing called the wing tee, and you never knew really who had the football. It was a really fun thing to call. I know Curtis really enjoys it too, especially when when you run and you can't really see the numbers when it's all muddy and stuff, and you're like, I don't know who had it. I was wrong again. But with this spread offense, pretty much everybody's kind of running now. How hard is it to kind of get a new guy in there, quarterback, after Walker had such a great season last year, but to have these guys like Aiden, like Caleb, that help that transition a little bit easier for your quarterback?
Yeah, and to go back off your wing tee point, a lot of the concepts we run are wing tee-esque.
Okay.
Power, counter, ISO, jet.
Yeah.
They're all wing tee concepts per se, but we do it out of shotgun and more some of those formations. But this year, obviously, we've kind of done some stuff traditionally too. We've gone under center, we've gone power eye, twins eye, those sorts of things. So we have that personnel, and that goes back to the quarterback too, where you got to adjust to the kids you have and the personnel you have. So that's obviously one thing we've done this year. We have a really athletic quarterback, some really nice skill players. So obviously try to get the ball to the edge as well with some jet sweeps and quarterback sweeps. But we're able to pound it up the middle too with a guy like this over there. So we try to impact the defense. 53 yards across the field and vertical as well. So just try to challenge the defense as much as possible.
Yeah, and wow, power eye.
The
power eye. I bet as we were talking the other day, Brian Gaston would like seeing that, the power eye situation there. Caleb, you look at this year's team and some of the pieces that you have, and I know you play on both sides of the ball and everything, but what stands out to you with this group here early on? We're only 2 games in, so a lot to learn about this group. What stands out to you that maybe you can see as this group as a special group as well?
It's definitely by far the dedication. This entire group's been working so hard for the last, even I would say 2 years.
Yeah.
Just being consistent, getting in the weight room, being at summer workouts, getting after it during in-season workouts, and working on that chemistry outside of practices, doing all kinds of things together. Just that dedication to reaching one goal, and that goal's obviously chasing a title, but also, going pretty deep in the playoffs.
Yeah. Aiden, what do you see maybe that's special about this team?
I think we have a lot of young guys that are capable of stepping up. Not to be biased, but I got to give a shout out to my brother.
Yeah.
I think he's got a great future ahead of him. He's working on the scout team, making our defense better, making our offense better. I do like how we have a bunch of people around us that we can trust. We have our defense is left, right, center. I trust every single one on the field, and they're going to make a play. They know we're all going to come together and end up victorious.
I look at some of these numbers statistically, defensively, and Josh Byers and Jacob Hackman and these guys and what they're doing. And Aiden had 3 tackles, and Caleb had 6 and a sack. And these numbers are just Danville football, isn't it, Matt? They get after it on the defensive side.
Yeah, and a credit to a lot of our kids too that they're playing both ways. They don't get many breaks, and when you have a roster of 42, that's just the expectation that you're going to play until you can't. and just really proud of the way our kids they battle through. And I'm glad Aiden mentioned this. We're really young in some spots. Like we have a lot of sophomores that are playing right now, and even some freshmen. And credit to them. I mean, they've done a phenomenal job as well. And just really proud of all of our kids in general. They've done a tremendous job so far. So we just got to keep pushing and take it 1 week at a time, and we'll go from there.
When you have a young group and you have some young players that are playing kind of significant roles and significant snaps here in a ball game, do you have to kind of, I don't want to say dumb it down in a sense, but make it a little bit easier for them to understand? Or do you say, hey, look, this is the standard. We have expectations that you got to learn on the fly?
It's a good question. I think this year our kids have done a really nice job adapting to what we're doing. And we've really added some new stuff into our offense especially too. And honestly, I think our kids have done a heck of a job picking it up and adapting to it. And I think it's a credit to them. I think they spend a lot of time outside of football adjusting to it. And I've never been around a team that watches as much film as they do. I mean, every single one of our players have at least above an hour each week. And that's really hard for high school kids to be able to do consistently, and they do. And they strive to do all the little things right, and they have a lot of success with it, and that leads to successful seasons. So that's why we're going to continue to preach those things and hopefully have the same results too.
All right, we're going to be talking more about the Danville Blue Devils, who are 2-0 on the season, and what they've done so far this year and what's to come, as well as they got quite the trip on Friday night, but then they get into conference play the following week. Of course, we want to thank Pizza Cottage and their hospitality for having us down here, and they served some pizza to the teams here, and we certainly appreciate them doing that. Packed house here tonight, and we appreciate those who have come down. Also want to thank Cottage Electric Plumbing and Construction, Page One Group, and, of course, our title sponsor, Griffin Insurance. All right, we're going to take this break. We'll come back and more of the Griffin Insurance Monday Night Sports Talk Show on a Tuesday on WMVO.
Veterans serving veterans.
That's what we do here at Knox County Veteran Services. Hi, I'm Kevin Henthorne, your Executive Director.
And I'm Financial Coordinator Melissa Schenk.
And we're here to meet the needs of Knox County veterans and their families.
We can help with emergency financial assistance,
filing of disability and pension claims, VA healthcare enrollment, and even transportation to VA healthcare facilities.
Please give us a call at 740-393-6742 or stop in and see us at our new location at 105 East Chestnut Street in Mount Vernon.
Pizza Cottage in Mount Vernon is one of 11 pizza cottages in Ohio. They are among the nation's best performing pizzerias and ranked in Pizza Today. The finest ingredients is used daily. Treat your customers and employees like family and always give back to the community. Offering not only takeout but also dine-in and full bar. Book your group parties today. Find Pizza Cottage on Facebook or go to pizza-cottage.com to begin your journey of tastes.
Page One Group in beautiful Mount Vernon has your best interest in mind when it comes to you and your printing needs. Whether it's printing, design, laser engraving, or sublimation, there isn't a texture we can't print on. Promotional products are how you keep people coming back. That's where we come in. Your business is our business. Page One Group, open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. Call 740-397-4240 and visit pageonegroup.net.
Griffin Insurance, taking care of your family since 1972. In today's day and age, it's very uncommon to get a real person when you call. Not at Griffin Insurance. We represent multiple carriers to find the best rate for you and your family. Whether it's auto, residential, commercial, or farm, we're here to help. Call Griffin Insurance at 740-397-7488. Griffin Insurance, finding you the best rate.
Your sinks are backed up, the electric in your master bedroom needs rewired, and now the wife is asking for a new addition. It's time to get in touch with Cottage Electric, Plumbing, and Now Construction. Give Brian and his team a call at 740-627-8004. They can fix your electrical and plumbing needs and give your bathroom and kitchen a remodel.
Cottage Electric Plumbing and Construction is a proud sponsor for all the local high school teams.
Enjoy the season. Cottage Electric, Plumbing, and Construction. 740-627-8004.
And we are back at Pizza Cottage, South Main Street in Mount Vernon, and they've been around since 1972. I think that's what the sign said outside. Oh, well, okay. Well, anyway, that was about 20 years after Curtis was born, and so they've been around a long time. He's looking around. I saw it on the sign out there. I just forgot. Give him a call and ask him. 740-326-1686. All right, we're talking with the Danville Blue Devils. And, again, 2-0 to start the season. Couldn't ask for better. That's what you hope for to begin the year. You open up the season with a win against Worthington Christian. And when you look back at that game, Matt, what kind of stood out in that matchup with Worthington Christian? And like I say, you come into it, you got a different quarterback, you got a different running back. You know, Briar Bozart's not there to run as a receiver and catch passes. So what did you expect maybe going into that first week, some of the things that you were kind of concerned about, and how did overall your thoughts on that ballgame?
Yeah, it was kind of interesting. It almost played out exactly how it did the year before, where we got off to a fast start, up 16-0 to start, and then they scored 2 touchdowns and kind of punched right back, 16-14. And what I like this year, though, is we could kind of tack a couple more touchdowns on in the first half, win at halftime 30-14. But I give credit to them. They fought hard. They were physical up front, I thought, and then they have some really nice skill players on the outside too. We had a couple turnovers here and there, but we were able to pull away late, 50-21, and it was a good week 1. We obviously had some stuff to work on from there, and we still do. But what we like, we're challenging ourselves in this non-conference, playing Worthington Christian, who's a D5 school, Utica, who's a D5 school, and then Hopewell Loudon this week, D6 perennial power. So really trying to challenge ourselves in the non-conference this year and get our players ready for, deep playoff runs and, seeing that type of competition early in the year. That's what we're striving to do. So,
Caleb, what stood out for that week 1 victory for the Danville Blue Devils?
We definitely worked a lot on taking shots at times, and then also when we needed to run the ball. They showed a lot of different things than we saw on film. It's week 1, so you can't really get a good grasp of what's going to happen exactly. But we were able to overcome some adversity when they kind of scored, and then we kind of pulled away at the end.
All right, Aiden, what maybe stuck out for you in that win?
I'm going to take a personal approach at this. I think it was a really good week for me to feel the field and trust my teammates, who to follow, who do I want to follow more. What plays do I like best? What plays do I get excited for when they're called in the huddle?
You ask for more.
That's about it.
Yeah. Now, then you get into week number 2, and you tell you what, the Utica Redskins, they played you tough, and you guys were able to outscore them 16-0 in the third quarter. You end up winning that game 24-14. Matt, what'd you like about your team's performance on Friday night? What'd you say? Oh boy, we got to work on.
Yeah, no, it was a dogfight, man. I mean, they are a well-coached, physical team, and they played us tough, man. It was a heck of a game. Obviously, we didn't have the start we wanted to, and that was kind of the thing. Week 1, I thought we got off to a fast start and then let off the gas pedal a little bit. This past week, it took us a while to get going.
Yeah.
That could be a multitude of things. Obviously, a first away game, really hot week last week of practice. But me, and our players, we know we have to do better, and we will be better. But obviously, that was kind of one thing that stuck out. We started off slow, but challenged our guys in the locker room, man, that believe in themselves, believe in the work that they put in, play for each other, and they did all those things. And we had a really good second half offensively. Like you said, we were 16-0 control of that game. We let a couple touchdowns there towards the end, but I was really proud of the way our kids responded in that second half. And like I said earlier, we're a very young team.
Yeah.
Our games are going to look a lot different than they did last year.
Yeah.
I think we're playing some better teams than we did last year. So, I think some people think we're just going to walk in and win by a lot, and that's just not going to happen. Teams are going to play us tough. We have a target on our back. Everybody wants to beat us, obviously. So credit to our kids for finding a way to win the last 2 weeks, and obviously we're going to keep doing that the next 8 weeks.
Hey, Caleb, you look at that second half against Utica. What stood out to you in that second half?
Well, I'll start off with this. In the locker room, I'll shout out Coach Dunk because he really got after us in the locker room, kind of put that fire in our bellies. And we came out that second half, and basically our message was, support your teammates and just be proud to be out here playing. And we got that first touchdown, and everyone was just excited, celebrating everything, and I think that's what really led us to victory that night. We just got excited about it.
And Aiden, what stood out to you as you got into that second half?
I'd say at first we weren't really pressing on the gas pedal to begin the game with, but as soon as we came out that second half, we got the ball back and we pressed as hard as we could down on the gas pedal. We didn't let up.
Coach, do you go for 2 or you kick?
Go for 2 every time.
Okay, that's what I thought. It's fun to ask you because I wasn't really sure. I hadn't heard a lot about kicking.
We still work on the kicking game. We're just not there yet.
Who's your kicker, Caleb?
He's one of them.
That's what I thought. I thought Caleb got out.
I will never claim to be a kicker.
We have a freshman too, and after last year, I think it was after Northmore, we kind of made that decision to just start going for 2. And, some people question, why don't we try for extra points? And we made all three of our 2-point conversions last week. So
that works.
We're batting 1,000 last week, so we'll continue to strive for that, and just put our offense in a position to score some more points.
Yeah.
So,
All right. Well, we looked at it. We were talking there with Centerburg about the KMAC, and it's a competitive conference again. You see what Blake Sipes and Fredericktown played a tough game against Northridge, and Northmore's good. You guys, Centerburg's always there. Now Gilead's getting better. Loudonville's, they're pretty young and stuff. But just to name a few here, obviously the East Knox Bulldogs have some really nice pieces back. But what do you look at with the KMAC?
Yeah, I think top to bottom, again, like I've said every year, it's a competitive league.
Yeah.
I mean, like you've already mentioned, I think Centerburg has some really good talent this year. I think Northmore, Mount Gilead, all those teams you mentioned have some really good pieces, and it makes for a tough conference slate. I mean, obviously this week we have a really tough matchup against Hopewell Loudon. Next week we come home for Mount Gilead, which I think will be another tough matchup, and then week 5's Northmore. So, a tough 3-week stretch for us, but this is the stuff we live for.
Yeah.
We want to play in those tough games. We want to play in those competitive games, and we want to see what we're made of. So the next 3 weeks is going to determine a lot of that. But, yeah, I think overall, I think our league's going to be really fun this year. I think we have a lot of really good players and that, deserve the exposure that they're getting. And we'll take it 1 week at a time and see what happens.
All right, Caleb, is the Devil Dog game the number 1 game you look forward to, or is it a different one? Or the next one?
I would say it's always the next one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Matt was looking directly at you.
Yeah, no. You always got to look at the team that's in front of you.
Sure.
You can't get too far ahead, or you just kind of walk in thinking you're going to win, and then things just go south from there. So definitely the week that's ahead of me, and just scouting them out is definitely the most important part of the week.
I got to ask you, though, about the Devil Dog game. How much importance is put on the Devil Dog game every single year?
I mean, it's one of the best games I've been involved in. I mean, last year we had the Mud Bowl, of course. That was epic. It was really great to have that game and just have fun with that. Ruined our field, but no, it's always been a tradition to, have respect for both teams.
Yeah. Aiden, any game that you look forward to? Is it the Devil Dog game, maybe? The next one.
Yeah. I'd probably go with keeping it brick by brick. We'll do 1 week at a time.
All right. We'll go with that. We appreciate you guys joining us here to talk about Danville football and some of the great things coming ahead for the Danville Blue Devils, as the Blue Devils look to play on the road this week, and they got quite the trip. And then, obviously you got some big matchups coming up as well, and we appreciate these guys joining us here. I got to ask you, Caleb, football or okay. Come on, try.
Don't even. Don't.
Okay, well, I ask you every time. I ask you every time.
I know.
Because Noel might watch this, and Brittany might watch this, and they'll wonder.
Well, they're going off to Philadelphia here soon, so they're not too happy with my decision to stay back. But I'm happy with my decision to play some more football.
Yeah, he is a man of many talents, and he'll be out there. Just can't go to Philadelphia this time.
Right.
But and we can play some Philadelphia Freedom if you want me to play that too. What is it, Elton John, Curtis? Thank you. See, I don't know. You know what I'm talking about. All right, well, we appreciate you guys joining us. Danville Blue Devils. I can't get to Danville or home, but you know what? Still a great place to check out football. And 2-0. Danville will be on the road, Hopewell Loudon, and looking forward to that. And, of course, we're going to be on the air on Friday night at Mount Vernon against Delaware Hayes, and in Fredericktown against Utica as well, both on our WMBO Facebook page and on the radio. What are you saying? Oh, we did have a couple players at the game. Landon Dawson of East Knox from last week, and Hunter Looney, right, from Mount Vernon, the other one from the Mount Vernon Yellow Jackets in their game against the Newark Wildcat. I thought Curtis might do that, but that is the Pizza Cottage player of the game. They're going to win a gift certificate and to get on the wall and everything.
Get on the wall.
It's a pretty cool deal. So now you guys have something to look forward to.
Hey, we got our week 1 player of the game right
there.
here.
Have you cashed in on your pizza?
I have not.
You've not cashed in on it.
He's got to, man.
You got to cash in on it.
I will.
Appreciate you guys joining us here. We're going to take this last quick break, then we'll be back and close out here on the Griffin Insurance Monday Night Sports Talk Show from Pizza Cottage in Mount Vernon.
Mount Vernon is one of 11 pizza cottages in Ohio. They are among the nation's best performing pizzerias and ranked in Pizza Today. The finest ingredients is used daily. Treat your customers and employees like family and always give back to the community. Offering not only takeout but also dine-in and full bar. Book your group parties today. Find Pizza Cottage on Facebook or go to pizza-cottage.com to begin your journey of tastes.
Griffin Insurance, taking care of your family since 1972. In today's day and age, it's very uncommon to get a real person when you call. Not at Griffin Insurance. We represent multiple carriers to find the best rate for you and your family. Whether it's auto, residential, commercial, or farm, we're here to help. Call Griffin Insurance at 740-397-7488. Griffin Insurance, finding you the best rate.
Veterans serving veterans.
That's what we do here at Knox County Veteran Services. Hi, I'm Kevin Henthorne, your Executive Director.
And I'm Financial Coordinator Melissa Shank.
And we're here to meet the needs of Knox County veterans and their families.
We can help with emergency financial assistance,
filing of disability and pension claims, VA healthcare enrollment, and even transportation to VA healthcare facilities.
Please give us a call at 740-393-6742 or stop in and see us at our new location at 105 East Chestnut Street in Mount Vernon.
Page One Group in beautiful Mount Vernon has your best interest in mind when it comes to you and your printing needs. Whether it's printing, design, laser engraving, or sublimation, there isn't a texture we can't print on. Promotional products are how you keep people coming back. That's where we come in. Your business is our business. Page One Group, open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. Call 740-397-4240 and visit pageonegroup.net.
All right, we are back here at Pizza Cottage. It's the Griffin Insurance Monday Night Sports Talk Show. By the way, we're going back to Monday night next week, and we hope that you join us for that. And, of course, this upcoming Friday night, Mount Vernon against Delaware Hayes on our WMVO Facebook page, live streaming and on the radio on 100.9 FM, 93.7 HD2, WMVO.com. And Fredericktown and Utica also will have that ball game on our WMVO Facebook page. Once again, congratulations to Hunter Looney and Landon Dawson. I remembered. Off the top of my head. I had the email, but I just didn't look down on it. But congratulations to them, and thanks to Pizza Cottage for having the player of the game. We certainly appreciate them. Our title sponsor, Griffin Insurance, Page One Group, with the mugs that no longer exist up here, and Cottage Electric Plumbing and Construction. Once again, thanks to Gary with 2 R's, Curtis with a C, for joining us and behind the scenes. And we'll be back next Monday, or this upcoming Monday, with the Griffin Insurance Monday Night Sports Talk Show on WMVO.
On tonight's Griffin Insurance Monday Night Sports Talk Show Live from Pizza Cottage in Mount Vernon. A big thank you to our coaches and players for sharing their stories and strategies, and to you, our listeners, for tuning in. Thanks also to our sponsors, Griffin Insurance, Pizza Cottage, Cottage Electric Plumbing and Construction, and Page One for making this evening possible. Join us next Monday for more insights, excitement, and community spirit. Until then, keep the passion alive and your